Oh, I gotta stretch.
Back to Dad.
And Sandy.
Oh, Judy, look at that. She's got a raven there. That's a really good shot. Is that a painting or a picture?
It's a painting. Good morning.
Really cool.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy
To
Mother's Day,
all the
everyone.
mamas
Yeah.
out there and the papas who've been mamas.
That's right.
Oh, there.
Okay. Hey, John.
All right.
Hi, John. Hi, Joyce.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Marianne.
Good morning, John.
Hi,
Morning.
Laura.
Morning, Joe. Morning.
Hi, Anna.
We sound like the
I said hi, and Anna,
We
too.
sound like the Brady Bunch.
Hello, everybody.
What's the family of John Boy and
Walton.
Oh, the Waltons.
Oh,
the Schmaltons.
Waltons, yeah.
The Schmaltons.
Yeah, we should be like looking down or something, or looking up or to the side. Like, let's see, if I look to this side, I look like I'm looking at Angie, right? Hi, Angie.
Yeah, that's right. You look at Angie's on the top there.
You guys
And
with
I'm looking
Daisy.
like I look at Sandy.
I see
Yes.
you're between Joe and Kim on mine.
Oh, yeah. I have Missy, then myself, then Sandy, then Angelo, then
Right.
they got the wrong name for you both, Joe, Bob, and Sally LJ.
It's like 52 card pickup, you know, you just don't know who on your screen who you're going to be by.
Change your name, Joe Bob.
No, Joe Bob's a nickname, and LJ's real name is Sally. That's her first name.
Oh, I didn't know, because I was thinking, what's going on there?
She doesn't look like a Sally, so, you know. Yeah.
Okay, Missy, you ready to start?
Yep, I'm ready.
I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. Okay, go ahead, honey. You have to unmute yourself, Missy. There, I heard you breathe.
Welcome. I know when you have two mics, it's like you're a little dyslexic this morning. Okay, well, welcome. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is Mother's Day, May 9th, and we are in the year of manifestation. Yes, we are all creating from as highest level of consciousness as we can do, and I am so glad that my level of manifestation is that you are all here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for bringing such joy to my life today. It's nice to see all your faces. We want to welcome all you here, and if we especially want to welcome any newcomers. And if you're here for the first time, we're glad you found us. And we're so hoping that you come back and join us together, to join us again and gather with us too, because we're a community that just loves community. We love each other, and it's why I found this place. Today is the 9th of May, and we have our 3 themes for May. It's healing is knowing the truth. Spiritual man is already healed, our spiritual human is already healed, and releasing the negative. And so settle back, quickly take a drink of water or sip of tea or coffee, take a deep breath, get settled into your heart space, into what Ernest Holmes calls the practitioner space within, and take a breath and settle down. Well, Patty will sing us into that space a bit. And you might want to unmute yourself, Patty. Today is a Mothering Day. As we honor our own hearts, as we put our hands on our heart and nurture our own hearts within, the God space within, where divine love sits as the flame within our heart, where we say, welcome, welcome, welcome home. Where all of us are parents to each other, but most of all, to our own souls as we radiate out this mothering love to all with whom we come into contact today and always. And we allow this now as we say, welcome home to the all within the one within and as us. So be it, and so we let it be so, and so it is. Now we ask the Reverend Kim Haley to give us our spiritual thought for the day.
There we are. It wasn't happening right away. There's a little hand instead of a arrow. Good morning, everyone. Happy spring. Happy nurturing day. Happy goddess day. We're celebrating the divine feminine in all of us today. And healing is knowing the truth is one of the themes. The spiritual human is already healed, and releasing the negative. I was, yesterday I was reading and I was meditating on the themes yesterday morning when I was sitting in bed, because it was my quiet time. And I pulled all these, I had these books I like to refer to, they're my friends. I sleep with my books. And I was reading from Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. I was reading the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo, and Being in Peace by Thich Nhat Hanh. And I felt really great because I had a wonderful sleep, deep sleep the night before, which is really important to me. And I was reading in my room and I was feeling the solitude, and I was feeling this very, you know, when you go into a meditative state, I just felt open, you know, everything was open and just peaceful, and there was nothing, I didn't feel cramped or impinged. I felt like I was in a free flow. And as I sat there in the solitude, and the uplifting and the comforting heart was opening. And here's a few gems I want to share with you from Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind. No love is its own healing. No love is its own healing. Love is the self-givingness of the spirit. And Emerson tells us that love is a synonym for God. God is love. Love is God. And God is love free from fear. Love is a cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible. Love is its own healing. Self-healing must come first of all. Self-healing must come first of all. It's an openness or receptivity to love, the universal soul, the subconscious intelligence, the womb of nature. It gives birth to the ideas of the spirit, and therefore the feminine principle of nature, the divine feminine that dwells within every person, male and female. So I'm back to this meditative state while I'm sitting in bed, and I'm feeling all this, I just feel so good, and all of this stuff is so comforting to read and to remember. And I looked down at, my phone was on the bed with me, and sitting there and I see this little blue light go on and I thought, oh, I'll look at that. And it means I have a text. And I open it and it is a text from a good friend who is no longer in Oakhurst and used to be here with us most of the time, Sarah Drost. And I open it and it's a wonderful little GIF of calligraphy of saying Happy Mother's Day with a little pink rose on it. And it says all it says is sending love. And I went, whoa, I was in such a receptive state. And here's what came into my life right then, well, I'm sitting in bed. I didn't get out of bed yesterday for a while. And I felt so wonderful. I actually texted her back and said, thank you, Sarah, this is what I'm doing right now. And it attracted this into you came right into my life and you said sending love and it meant so much to me. And I miss your physical presence, but we can always, through the wonders of technology, we are reminded of all the connections that always exist, even when you think of somebody. And so then what I did, because I was so inspired by that, is I started texting everybody that I could in that morning, that my sister, my mother, a few other close friends who have been very supportive towards me. And I sent them the same sort of thing, Happy Mother's Day, sending love. And it felt wonderful to do that. And it just seemed there was no tension left, you know what I mean? So being in a receptive state is also the state of receiving from God, if you like, from the all that is, and being present in that moment. So it's very healing to know that you're not alone and that you matter and that you can make a difference. So I want to close by reading a poem written by Shelley Bloom, and I hope you enjoy it. It's called The Fragile Bend of the Heart. Let us meet there at a fragile bend of the heart, at a threshold of acceptance, where compassion and tenderness utterly shift the world, utterly lift the world from confusion to clarity, from darkness to light, from them to us, from us to everyone. Let us meet there at a fragile bend of the heart, where we are limited in all things but our capacity to love. The weakness that will save us, utterly fragile love, utterly agile love. All our human vulnerabilities merging there, invincible at a fragile bend of the heart. Love to you all. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you. And now for music. Joe, since I see you, does that mean that Patty is having some issues with her computer?
I do not see her on the participants list. So
Because she was here earlier, she checked in.
She tried to get on a couple times and it didn't work.
Okay, so Joe, so I guess our wonderful musician for this morning is Joe, the great Joe Nelson. So Joe, please.
it just so happens I have my guitar here, and I'm totally unprepared. So I'll do one of my old standbys.
Thank you.
Well, I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm gonna glow and grow till I'm so blue, pure, perfect. Gonna put a smile on everybody's face. And I'm gonna kneel and pray every day, lest I should become vain along the way. I'm just an old chunk of coal now, oh Lord, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. Now I'm gonna learn the best way to walk, gonna search and find a better way to talk. I'm gonna spit and polish my old rugged self till I get rid of every single flaw. And I'm gonna be the world's best friend, gonna go around shaking everybody's hand. I'm gonna be the cotton picking rage of the age, and I'm gonna be a diamond someday. Well, I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm gonna glow and grow till I'm so blue, pure, perfect. Gonna put a smile on everybody's face. And I'm gonna kneel and pray every day, lest I should become vain along the way. I'm just an old chunk of coal now, oh Lord, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm just an old chunk of coal now, oh Lord, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And it's a perfect lead-in to introduce our speaker, because talking about, we're not going to say anything about the chunk of coal, of course, but the magnificent diamond, who's our next speaker. And so let me, without further ado, let me introduce the magnificent diamond, the Reverend Bob Hand.
Thank you. I feel like I should have carrots with me if I'm going to be a diamond. I want to start off with a short story about, in honor of Mother's Day, about two mothers meeting. And it comes from a book I'm reading called Braiding Sweetgrass. And it's by Robin Wall Kimmerer, and she's a doctor of biology, a university professor, and a member of the Potawatomi tribe. And she blends all of that in the book, those different perspectives and those different activities. So this is just a little comment she made about the meeting of Sky Woman. Sky Woman comes from the tales of the Potawatomi, and she fell from a hole in the sky. She was caught by some geese who were flying and put on a turtle to stand because the whole world was water. The animals went down and were able to get some mud and bring it up. And what she had with her was this bag with the seeds to grow all of the plants we need. So in effect, she created the garden that feeds all of the animals and that feeds all of the people. And of course, she's honored all of the time in all kinds of ceremonies and prayers for being the mother figure that supports the lives of all the animals and people and brings forth those plants that we use. And she talked about kind of this imaginary meeting that when the Europeans come over, the Potawatomi mother figure meets the European mother figure Eve from the Garden of Eden. And Eve says, well, Yes, I ate from the fruit of the garden and I got kicked out and I got cursed and told that I would bring forth life in pain and that my descendants would struggle to try to grow the crops to live, and that basically we are I and all of my descendants are carrying this curse. And Sky Woman says, oh, my sister, you got the short end of the stick on this deal. And the idea is we should be honoring the mother figure. We should be honoring this principle of bringing forth life and of supporting life rather than cursing the idea of the mother figure stepping up and supporting life. And Kimmerer goes on to say that we often get these divine teachings wrong. And one of the reasons that she talked about is people see divine guidance as a map, like a road map that says, here you are, and you have to follow this road, this path to go up to where you're supposed to be. And so it becomes very restrictive. And these religions tell us that we have to go right along this exact way or we're lost. But she tells us that divine guidance isn't a map, it's a compass. It doesn't tell us exactly where we have to go, it just points the way. This is the way to go for enlightenment. How you get there is up to you. It doesn't guarantee that there's a smooth road that goes, but if we use it, it keeps us pointed in the right direction. And she gives one of the examples that would be a point on this compass, and that's the pecan tree. The pecan tree grows and produces, oddly enough, pecans, of course. And pecans, they grow up in the northern states. And pecans, with their hard shell and they have lots of fat in them, are perfect food for the winter because they can store that food, and with those nutrients and fat, it helps animals and people get through the winter. And so the trees are giving this gift, but there's more to it than that. See, throughout the area, and she's in Vermont, some of the pecan trees are growing in wonderful soil with lots of water, lots of access to sunshine. And some of them grow in soil that's not all that good, that's more arid. Maybe there's trees or a hill around, they don't get as much sunshine. And so what happens is the pecan tree has to take in all these nutrients and store it in its roots. And when it has enough, produce the pecans to put all of this wealth of nutrient in. But pecan trees don't produce pecans every year. They don't produce them every other year. It's just periodically. They have enough in their roots and it goes up and produces the nuts. Now, logically, you would think, well, the pecan trees in the best environment with the best soil and water, they're going to produce pecans more often than the other trees. But it doesn't happen that way. All of the pecan trees across the area all produce pecans at the same time. Nobody knows the schedule. It seems to be random which year. And nobody knows how they all know how to do it at the same time. Hundreds of miles apart, all of the pecan trees will produce pecans. But the biologists say this is a great system because you see, if only the pecans that were doing well produced it this year, then all of the squirrels and all the people and the other animals that eat them would run in and eat all the pecans from those trees. And if the next year some other trees grew it, then we'd all run over there and take all of those pecans. But the fact that they all produce it at once the same year means there's just such an abundance of pecans that some of those that get squirreled away, buried away by the squirrels and stuff, are not going to get eaten, and they're going to grow new pecan trees. So instead of acting as individuals, the pecan trees act as if all of them are one tree. And together they all produce pecans at the same time. And that's what allows them to flourish and keep going and expand and grow more trees. And so it's their oneness that works for all of them. But it seems to be a hard lesson for people to learn. We tend to have this idea that we're better off as individuals. It's funny, in the English language, when you look at what words are used the most, there's some like and the, they're used the most. But outside of those, the word that's used the most in the English language is I. I do this. I want this. We talk about our individual selves more than we talk about anything else. And we think about ourselves more, the way we look. The cosmetic industry around the world is valued at $562 billion. We spend that much money making ourselves look good. Think about what $562 billion could do if we used it to help all of the people who needed help. But we're not real good at that. And I was thinking that affects our journey through life, that way of thinking, our difficulty of wanting to think of ourselves rather than think of everyone and think of ourselves as a whole. You see, I've no doubt that all of us would love to always be in the sunshine. We'd love to always be on top of the mountain, seeing the whole horizon in the beauty. And when we're up there, it's easier to be in the oneness, right? You're already in the sunshine. It's easy to see how wonderful thing is and to experience that oneness with people and things. But, you know, to me, a lot of times we think, well, if I can become enlightened enough, I'm always going to be on top of that mountain. Except if you're going to get to the next peak, you've got to go down into the valley to get there. You've got to come down off of that mountain and go down through that dark valley if you're going to get up the next peak, no matter who you are. And down in that darkness, we don't tend to think of the oneness. Down in the darkness, we don't tend to think of everybody else. We think of ourselves. I'm scared. I'm lost. How am I going to go forward in life when I'm in this darkness? And I thought about, you know, if in the darkness, if in those worst times of our life, we could let go of our ego and think of others, we would realize that our divine light shines brightest when we're in the dark. If we are in the dark, our light will shine the brightest. And if we're thinking about others instead of ourselves, we'll realize that that light in the darkness is going to help all of those other people who are in the darkness. It's going to let them see the way. You know, last week, our beloved Reverend Judy in her spiritual thought said, I can't guarantee that you won't die. But what I can say is, if you never in your life experience the oneness, I can guarantee that you won't live. No matter how much money you have, no matter how much power, no matter how much fame, if you don't sometime, and hopefully occasionally, experience that oneness, experience the wholeness, experience your joint life with humanity, then you're just taking up space. You exist, but you do not live. You're not part of that vibrant life force of the universe. And so if in our darkest times, we can let go of our ego, we can know that there's this positive nature of existence, we can shine our light in the darkness, then we'll be living that ancient Chinese proverb. It's better to light one small candle than to curse the darkness. Namaste.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Bob. Thoughts of oneness and community, the true meaning of community, oneness of on a lot of levels, but I think like came through me most of all was the oneness of heart. And something that we get here, I think, and more at PLC as we join hands, not only hand to hand, but heart to heart. And I thank you for bringing that thought once again forward to our consciousness, how important it is to think that and to know that, and the thoughts of oneness and community. Thank you. It's time now for our offertory. And if you join me in our offertory blessing, please. Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. I put in the chat box where you can send your donations to. It's your involvement and donations are greatly appreciated. It pays our mortgage. It keeps everything flowing. And it's part of the ripple effect. As we send it out from our hearts, it comes back to us multiplied. I had a friend I talked to last week, and she had lost her job, and she went to her church, and there were people at the church said, oh, don't worry about giving this week because we know you lost your job. And she says, you just don't get it. She says, I'm going to tithe because I give from the heart, and that's how it comes back to me. And she said that year was the greatest year she had financially. That it's the giving in whatever way you can from a generous heart that keeps the flow going. So we thank all of you because it's our community that keeps our community going. Announcements. Does anybody have any announcements? I'm looking to see if there's any. I just put it the gallery view so I can see if any hands going up. Any? Okay, I don't see any hands. If I didn't see any hands and there are announcements, please unmute yourself and let me know. Okay, the practitioner of the day is Reverend Kim Haley. And in the meaning of community, in your iFocus, remember that we do have the PLC outreach heart to heart. And there are quite a few people signed up. So if you do need something, you need assistance, you need someone to help you run errands. If you can't, there are people available there, only a phone call away, only a text away. So please understand that your community is here in service, heart to heart, oneness, and in love, great love. Next week's speaker is Reverend Judy DeRosa. And so please, yay, yes. So please, hope to see all your smiling faces next week. And so,
I have something to say.
yes, Kim.
I just got a thing from Patty. It was that her internet went totally south, and she said even her phone couldn't keep a connection. So she's saying, I can't wait till we're back doing this live. Because she has a little bit of a problem with the internet. So just thought I'd let you know. Okay.
Well, reminder that it was all about oneness today, and so that she was here in the oneness of consciousness. So
Sure, I'll tell her. I will.
Jazz hands.
Okay.
Would you all join me in our prayer of protection? The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Reverend Sandy, can you bless us out the door, please, with a treatment?
Oh. Know that there is only God. This beautiful, wonderful consciousness that we are part of. As you go forth today and you see the spring and the wildflowers and the blue skies, know that this is a perfect, perfect day to honor the mothering principle, to honor the beauty of mothering ourselves and mothering others. For in this way we learn, we grow, we understand, we show empathy, we show whatever is needed, we show heart. When I think of the mother, I think of the heart, the mother and the baby, the Madonna and the child. I think of this unconditional love that blesses us all, follows us daily, and is an important part of who and what we are. And I give such grateful thanks for knowing this as it flows through us and shares and connects us. And say with me, please, and so it is.
So it is.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
As usual,
you.
good Sunday and lots of good conversation before church started. Go forth and just bless everything today, folks. It's
Yes.
worth
Yes, yes.
Take care. Bye.
it.
Thank you all. Good to see you all.
Nice to see everyone. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Bye.